5 plastic sewn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8. Oh, see? They'll pop, they'll pop.
Hey guys, the Huntsman here. I hope you guys are doing good, being safe. So, the other day, I went and did a thing. Actually, I made a video on this, a whole video, and I didn't like it, so I ended up scratching it. So, here we are again. I went and traded in my Savage Access, and I got this. A Ruger American Lefty bolt with a turret-style Barska scope and a threaded barrel. By the way, this weapon is clear and arm safe. I also wanted to apologize for not having a 4th of July video up. It was a pretty fun night, but I didn't end up getting any footage. And we didn't do any shooting because ammo's been a little crazy and hard to find lately. So I haven't been doing any shooting at all, actually. But, so, a couple things I wanted to go over. I already sighted this rifle in and scope. I already sighted this scope in on the rifle. Either or, I got it sighted in. So, I'm going to show you guys how to use a bushnell professional Boresighter. I'm telling you guys, this will save you a lot of money on ammo. It'll put you, if not right on the button, it'll put you really close to it, so you're not guessing where your rounds are going. It's going to save you a lot of ammunition and a lot of money on ammo. Also, I'm going to show you how to zero in turret style scopes. So, I'll teach you guys how to do that. This was actually a new thing for me. I haven't dealt with these ever in my whole entire life. So, I actually had to do all the mathematical figuring out what it's like to dial in for your windage and your range. I have it zero locked at 100. So, well, according to this bore sight, but this bore sight has never failed me. I've sighted in multiple rifles with this, and it's been on every time. So, alright, let's get busy. So, first thing you would do is you would get the Boresighter ready. Comes in a nice fancy little box and case. By the way, these guys are not sponsoring me, so this bottom screw right here, you unscrew it about 3/4 of the way. Be careful not to drop that. And then if you look inside the flap of this case, you have multiple ends. These are your barrel ends. So you can see the lettering and numbers on it. Look for which one fits your 7mm to 35 caliber. That would fit 308, anything 30 caliber, anything between 7mm and 35 caliber. So, and then your smaller one's gonna be for more like, let's see, 22 to 270. So that explains that. That one would be for your AR-15s. I will tell you that if you're going to use one on an AR-15, you might have to take off the muzzle brake. I've tried doing ARs with those before, and the birdcage suppressor or any muzzle brake typically that you have on them is too long to reach down through. It kind of widens out before it gets to the neck. So just a heads up on that. What you would do is slide your end down through. You're going to see on here there's a flat side. That flat side sits up under this screw. And you'll feel when it's in. And you tighten that up. Then you would put it in the end of the barrel. And then you would turn to the right. And you can see how that's widening out. and then you just turn it till it's snug, and that would sit at the end of your barrel like this. The trickiest part is getting this squared, so when you're looking down your scope, this will be squared away. This does put you at 100 yards once you're zeroed in the center. It has a diagram on it, so if you want to go, I think it's a half or a quarter block up higher, because it's like a graph, and I think it's like a half or a quarter block is another 100 yards. So if you want to decide into 300 yard zero, that's how you would do that. I always just set it at 100 yard zero. That's my personal preference. I'm not long range shooting, so I'm just shooting long enough to get a deer. But yeah, that's how that works. So I will tell you two things. One, when you're boresighting, you need a light behind this because it's not going to show up. I'll set a flashlight up on the table and kind of kick the light behind it. Two, if you are sighting in a rifle that has a free float stock on it, typically a lot of the synthetic stocks are free float. They have a gap, so when the barrel heats up, that it doesn't shift anything. If you're going to sight in your weapon, or even when you're shooting, don't rest the barrel up, set the barrel on anything, because it will pull away from your stock and it throws your scope off. I learned that, luckily, through the Boresight and not the hard way. But I don't know. I learned it though, because I was sighting in actually my Savage Access, and I didn't have a bipod on it, so I rested it on the back of the chair behind my kitchen light so I could see the graph. And when I set it down, I had it all zeroed in, and then I picked it up and my zero went flying all over the place, and I was wondering what was going on. That's what was going on. So just put this away real quick. Alright, now I'm going to teach you guys how to zero lock in your scope turrets. So these are your turrets on a turret style scope. Anybody that shot them will know how to do this anyway, but this is your bottom lock. This Allen screw right here, you loosen that about a couple turns, and then you unlock this, and then you pick up your turret and you spin it until it's on zero, and then you set it back down, and then you lock it into place. You do the same for your windage, but you don't want to do that until you've actually sighted in the rifle, because once you pick it up and spin it, it's not going to do anything. You're just spinning the cap at that point. So what I did was I put my Boresighter on, and then I did my adjustments. So also, I can tell you that for whatever reason, all my adjustments are backwards. I don't know why that is. I'm new to this turret style scope stuff, but yeah, I had to go up was down, down was up, and same thing for left and right. But yeah, so I made my adjustments. So you unlock this and then you click it through, and once you're adjusted to where you need to be, you lock it down, undo this screw, unlock it again, pick this up and spin it, and then set it on zero, and then tighten your screw, and then lock this down and make sure that your scope didn't move. It sounds a little bit trickier than it is. It's actually pretty easy. I'd show you guys, but I already went through the hassle of boresighting the scope in. Like I said, I was going to do it with you guys, but I didn't actually like the way the video came out, so here we are. But I made sure to give you guys your content. So that's how you use a Boresighter, and that's how you lock in zero on turret style scope. They're actually a lot of fun. I actually enjoyed locking it in. I want to get out to the range and actually start really using the turrets. I've been doing the mathematical figuring. It's actually pretty tricky figuring out. They're on mil dot scopes, so you have your mil dots that are set so far apart for distance and windage, and then plus you have your turrets where you can click through. Typically you would have a spotter and they would tell you how many clicks left, how many clicks right, high or low, but I'm a lone shooter. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I can't wait to get out there. I hope you guys are doing good. It's good to see you guys. I'm gonna do actually another video. I'm gonna put a couple rounds out of this to see if it's holding zero, or if how zeroed in it is, if I have to make any minor adjustments. So, and you guys will be joining me for that. So we'll see how good this Boresighter works. But I know it works really well because I used it on 2 Savage Axis and a Remington 700, and they were all pretty much right on the money. Couldn't ask any more out of those style of rifles. I mean, the 700 wasn't bad. It did need a little work though for a 700, which I was kind of surprised. The feed lips on the the feeding lips under the magazine were bent, so when it was feeding rounds they were nosediving, and if it would feed them it would scratch the crap out of the casings. So yeah, that was pretty much that. I haven't actually fired this rifle yet, so that'll be a first for both of us. But I'm actually pretty eager to get it out and sling some rounds downrange and see what it'll do. So I do actually like Savage Axis. I do miss mine, but this was a good deal and I couldn't pass it up. Plus it's a lefty, and I'm a left-handed shooter. You don't see a lot of left-handed rifles for a good price anymore. So it's been Huntsman 32 and Huntsman Jr. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you guys soon. Have a great day, guys.